welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about, damn. Going on soon with 3 weeks of Gamergate 2. I'm covering it, doing daily news in regards to this, to see the amount of bad takes or bad stuff coming out from the triggered left that they, well, cannot seem to accept that people noticed. That they are trying to ruin games, they are trying to make games unplayable or inaccessible or just plain stupid. Looking at you, Forspoken, Suicide Squad, Alan Wake 2, and more. So, the first part of the news roundup. Do you remember, not long ago, aka yesterday, we had this? The return of Gamergate is smaller and sadder, in which we then, well, technically the royal we, being I, showed how very popular the Sweet Baby Inc. group or curator is on Steam. In fact, it's one of the highest, I think 7th highest or 5th highest curator on Steam itself, and it's a store of over 10 million people. So you can see here, they have 300,000. This is archive page from yesterday, so they have a little bit more today, and you can see that it's not a little smaller as they claim it to be, because it's all about, well, narrative. Oh, as it turns out, it's 307,259 currently on Steam. So it's not the smaller and sadder part. So what gives? Oh yeah, wait, it's called a narrative. Here we have on Resetera. Resetera. If you're not familiar with Resetera, here is a very quick explanation. Think of it like this. You're walking inside a house and it's full of garbage, stored stuff on its front porch, on garden or whatever, on the front yard. You see a tricycle, baby stuff, a diaper thrown here, the grass is growing and it's disturbing and sad and things are falling apart. You knock the door and a fat person opens the door and you see it's a fat person with a patchy beard and balding with lipstick on its face and very, very fat, and you look down below because you cannot just help yourself. After all, it's like a train wreck, and you see a hairy chest with boobs and I'm wearing a diaper, adult diaper, and the person responds with a hello, and then suddenly you take a breath to just be able to say hello to the person. And that's when you notice the smell of cat piss. And then the smell of sweat and sadness. And you look inside, it's dark, it's gloomy, the walls are dirty, full of shit and food, and you look inside, it's completely stored with garbage, and then there is another fat person with one of those feminist hats that was quite popular in 2020, pink hat, the pussy hat, apparently, sitting on the couch, and that's looks like a female, but she's so fat that you cannot even possibly understand how she managed to get to the couch to begin with. And then you start smelling and feel the smell of fat folds and sweat and all that crap, and then you notice the fat person that opened the door for you is sweating too. And inside the house feels like the Amazon or somewhere in Africa, and how hot it is. That's a Resetera. Very colorful, isn't it? Well, right, so here it is, one of those people.
Another part of why it might be fizzing out is that it takes less effort to figure out what's going on in this stage of the game. When Gamergate started, you had a bunch of dumbasses on Twitter floating around telling us how upset they were that journalists gave a game they liked bad score because when Gamergate said ethics in game journalism, they connected it with the stupid trivia net problems and had no idea what was going on is when misogynists were forming the movement and its symbols in 4chan and would kick them out.
Jesus Christ, idiot! Use a comma, semicolon, maybe a period here and there. I'm starting to think this may actually be a games journalist. After all, we are very familiar with how they write their stuff. And it's impossible to read. Dude, separate your ideas. You're just having a verborrhea right there. You're just throwing the diarrhea out of your ass. And it's impossible to comprehend. But suffice to say, no, the initial Gamergate started because the fucking games journalist was sleeping with a few game developers and giving the crappy games they developed a higher score when it was not worth it. That's how it started, you absolute troglodyte. It seems you were in a cave or... Oh, wait. Yeah, they were in Resetera. It's kind of like a cave. It's a bubble. Anyway. You had this entire class of useful idiots to whom the greatest and most pressing issues visibly in their lives were that the people didn't appreciate the games they liked as much as they did and had learned their own different opinions, who saw people starting to harass journalists assumed that it was an expression of their own frustration. Whew! I managed to do it. With one breath. Dude. Learn how to write. These people here are not very honest. They need to lie to be able to spread their nonsense. They need to lie to spread their narrative. Otherwise, well, the narrative will not spread because, after all, it's a cult. Anyway, moving on. Right, so, with you knowing how Sweet Baby Inc., all that stuff, so I don't need to actually go and explain it to you. We noticed a few things in the forum of Unknown 9, Awakening. They had a bit of a banning spurg and etc. And a lot of people got banned, threads deleted, but something caught most people's eyes. And it's this one. Why this individual was not banned, why this thread still keeps on, well, it's still open or not deleted or closed. It shows a lot of what's going on. Here it is. Imagine letting a consulting firm live rent-free in your head. You can't stay mad and complaining about an imaginary enemy. I am 100% buying this game. I made a lot, I made a lot of chads mad. Pro tip, get girlfriend and do something useful with your life. Also terms and transobs deserve no. On top of that, you have a complete loser to spend your time looking at my profile looking for some ammo to attack me. First and foremost, I already have a girlfriend, so thank you very much for caring and worrying about me. Secondly, wishing for people to disagree with you is just... What the fuck is wrong with you? Secondly, why is this thing not closed? It's already on page 19 with 20 or 30 comments per page. And yet it's not locked. People who criticize Sweet Baby Inc., the developers in here, hey, their threads, their comments, whoopsie daisy, gone. And some of them even got banned with no reason at all. But this idiot can't stay. But before I continue, here's a trailer. So, I'm back, baby, yeah. Right, so we checked this out in here and we can see that it is not the greatest take on the forum. And we can see that this person here is utterly retarded. We can actually also see that they are not the smartest person ever or the nicest cookie in the jar, or maybe let's just say that this person here is definitely not the brightest bulb around. But the thing is, it does paint a very troubling issue that the moderators either moderating this forum or at Steam seems to be very well compromised. After all, I remember I had a few of my posts, etc., being taken down for the most simplest of reasons. And when you go contest it, if the mod is actually a good person, they'll say, hey, yeah, this thing was an overreach. We unbind you and restore your post. But when you see that the person is actually a very compromised mod on Steam, they actually literally lock your reply and you can't even reply them back. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. And this person here, it seems to be... But then again, this idiot here really wants to purchase a crap game just to stick it up to the chuds, apparently. After all, this person may actually enjoy crappy games and paying premium prices for crappy games. Hey, do it like me. If you're going to purchase a crappy game, at least wait when it's 95% on sale, or after a few years. At least you can actually pay for a few dollars or a couple of dollars for the game, and you still get to enjoy the whatever crap you wanted and still not pay too much about it for it. But either way, you think that the bad news related to everything else in here has been, it's done and all that, but well, you would be entirely wrong. Because after all, now we know a few things about Remedy. You know, the people behind Alan Wake 2. You know, the people who hired Sweet Baby Inc. to actually work and do the character development. Here is, just to give you a perspective, if in case you don't know. Here it is, Sweet Baby Inc. For a moment I thought they took down a few games. They actually did take down a couple of weeks ago a game, but either way. Here we have character arc, voice and sensitivity reading. Now that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because we know one of the developers or directors said, no, we did not use Sweet Baby Inc. to develop and put in a race-swapped character in there. No, we did not. But then we have actual news and actual interview in which he basically admitted to actually waiting and getting input from a consultancy firm, Sweet Baby Inc., into the development of Saga Anderson. Which is a very, very Nordic name for some reason, isn't it? Well, I was kind of expecting a Shaniqua Smith or something like that, but hey. Anyway, so here is Remedy. Remedy Entertainment PLC financial statements released January-December 2023, challenging year results in 2 established franchises after the successful Alan Wake 2 launch. They say it's successful, but the thing is, it's still, they haven't made bank, aka they still haven't managed to pay for the development of the game right now. The game still hasn't paid for itself. They may have had a nice little launch on Epic Games Store or what, or on the consoles, but in the end, they still have not managed to pay for the development. They are still in red. Here, how bad it is for Remedy. Revenue decreased by 24.4% to 10.3 million euros. Highlights from January and December 2023. Decreased 22.2 in a year. October to December, 24.4. But this is quite interesting, especially because it was exactly the time period in which Alan Wake 2 was released. You can actually even see it here. Alan Wake 2 launched on October 27th. So basically what we get here is a very bad thing. So in other words, Sweet Baby Inc. is the kiss of death for a game. And then it's the kiss that it will eventually make that game fail. After all, even though they admitted right now, here, after the review period in February 2024, Remedy announced that Alan Wake 2 has sold 1 million units by the end of December 2023 and 1.3 million units at the beginning of February 2024. So he managed to sell 300,000 units in 2 months since 2024 and 1 million since release. That shows a very steep decline in sales. But the most important thing is 1.3 million units and you still haven't managed to pay off the game. How much did you guys spend in this garbage? How much? Jesus fucking Christ. Remedy? Jesus fucking Christ. This is what happens. This is what happens when you hire Sweet Baby Inc. and go Epic Games exclusive. Either way, yeah, this is the end of the news roundup for Gamergate today. That's wonderful, isn't it? So, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night, and remember, the most important of all, fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you.